Hey, what's up team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. This video is on the 4 keys to a proper team, to good teamwork, and hopefully that'll help you get towards your goals and get what you want in life, right? And this is also one thing. This is not just in the external world of actual communication and teamwork with people, but this is also, I like to bring it in to the internal world of your cognitive function stack. If you know what that is and you've been around at Geek Psychology for a minute, then please embrace that side of this whole thing. But if you just want to think about it in terms of at work, you want a little bit more peace and harmony. You want your team to work a little bit better together, and you want something to get done that you're kind of struggling with, and this will help too. But like I said, if you bring it in and think about your cognitive function stack and how your different archetypes within you are working together, this will also help within that, so you have more internal alignment. You get rid of some of that stress and that chaos that's going on inside you, and you can actually have more focus and a better drive towards reaching your goals or getting away from whatever it is that's haunting you. Trying to run away from your creditors or whatever they are, or bears. So starting out, I'm going to give you the 4 keys, and they're easy to remember. I like to use mnemonic devices and things like that, anything to kind of simplify the understanding so that from there I can bounce to whatever ideas I need to. And so I went A, B, C, D. And so starting out, A, awareness and appreciation. In a team, you need to, 1, be aware of everybody else and also appreciate their situation. And what I mean by this is you really don't know what other people are going through. You can make guesses, you can kind of slice and kind of pick apart these different details and information and make an assumption, but you never actually know. So just trying to be aware of their situation. You can even ask them about that, of course, and then appreciate that they're going through some shit, through some struggles that you're not. And, they might need more time. They might need some sort of support in order to do something that you think could be easily done. Does that make sense? You don't know. Their brother-in-law could be in the hospital or something like that. And all these bad things are happening to them. And you don't know that. Maybe they're not sharing that, right? So just try to give people the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, maybe you're going through some stuff that I don't know about, so I'm just going to appreciate that you're trying your best in this situation. And, if they're not, that sucks. But at least you are taking the higher route and you're trying to appreciate that, right? All right, so that's A. B, balance. It's super important to have a balance, a good, proper balance in any situation. It's mixed perspectives and skills are going to get you to where you want to go. And it's I always think of it, and I've said this before too, if you are trying to run an instance or a quest or something like that in a game, and you're going a party of 5 rogues, you might be able to do it, but it's not gonna be as pretty. It's not gonna be as balanced. You're gonna have to pull all these sneaky little tricks, I guess, a rogue would do. But in anything 5 warriors, it's gonna be difficult because you're lacking different perspectives. You're lacking different skill sets that everybody needs. And if you have too much of one, then that means you're open, you're vulnerable to all this other stuff. So if you have all intuitives, you're probably going to struggle to get stuff done. You need some sensors as well. And to get I don't mean just get stuff done, but get real practical hands-on experience that is going to help you get stuff done. But if you have all thinkers, then you're going to be missing out on some of that feeling goodness, that vulnerability within that. If you're all feelers, then you're just going to be trying to talk to each other and make sure everybody feels good and not step on any toes, perhaps, or stepping on all the toes. It's always going to be difficult if you don't have that balance. So make sure that you do your best to balance the perspectives, even if you have to play devil's advocate, even if you have to kind of go on your alt and play a class that you're not usually used to. Like if your team is full of sensors, then you're going to have to, even if you are a sensor, you're going to have to try to bring in that intuitive perspective a bit. Okay? And I'll talk, like I said, about the internal side of this a little bit after I get through ABCD. So from there, communication. It's important to communicate how you are feeling, how you are thinking, what you are seeing, how you're interpreting things. Just constant communication, because if you have to keep making assumptions, you're going to not have that awareness, you're not going to be able to appreciate people's situation, and it's just going to be bad, right? So make sure that you communicate and you try to build rapport with people. If you understand the cognitive functions, if you understand personality type, that's a huge key to helping you do that. Because if you are able to understand how somebody sees the world and how they make decisions, then you're able to just kind of dive right into their mind and communicate deeply to them, right? And that's going to build rapport, it's going to build trust. And if somebody trusts you, or if you trust somebody else, you're likely to work well together. You're likely to bond together and kind of get each other's back, right? And help each other out when they're struggling with something. All right, so from there, D, direction. You need to have a clear, defined goal. Like a team, you can have a bunch of people that are working really well together, that like are friendly and happy together, nice harmony, all this other stuff, they're getting stuff done. But if the goals are not clearly defined, then you're going to be missing out on having that solid direction that's going to get everybody motivated to go into the same place. And that's probably going to bring other people along too. And if you have that strong voice, if you have somebody that's leading or directing things properly, everybody knows what they're supposed to do, everybody knows their roles, then you're going to have a lot more power. Right? You're not going to be siphoning out energy and stuff to different goals and things like that. You're going to be focused and you're going to get stuff done. So those are my 4 keys for teamwork, right? For building a good team. Bringing it inward, once again, awareness and appreciation, being aware of your cognitive functions, knowing when you are in the trickster role, knowing when you're kind of playing an anti-hero or a newbie kind of style, or knowing when you're really in your element as your dominant function. Like these are keys to understanding yourself and motivating your internal squadron of cognitive functions in order to be, doing the stuff that you got to do. And so also appreciating the fact that you struggle with some things. You do. I do too. We all do, right? Like, we're not good at everything. And if we were, then I don't know. I don't think that would be fun either, right? So knowing that for me, extroverted thinking, organizing my life, I'm organizationally challenged, it's something that I struggle with. But I can appreciate that because I struggle with that, that's an area that I don't focus a lot of my time and energy on. And I focus a lot more time on organizing and defining my feelings, my emotions, my values, and my beliefs, and making sure that I'm consistent with them. All right, so that's appreciation and awareness of what is going on within myself. If you want to know more about this stuff, there are tons more videos on this channel. I'm going to be, talking about it forever as well in the other videos. So gotta know it, gotta figure it out. Your cognitive function stack and your cognitive functions and some of the roles and archetypes. Anyway, from there, balance, mixed perspectives and skills, right? Knowing that as an INFP, feeling and intuition are really my strong points, that helps me kind of clarify my approach, my attack on situations. But I can also see that I struggle with sensing pretty bad. And recalling information, facts, and details, it's not something I'm good at, right? So seeing that is something that I am going to struggle with, I'm able to try to balance that out when I run into an obstacle or problem. And same with thinking as well. And this goes for everybody, okay? Right? I hope I don't need to keep specifying that. Like an ESTJ is going to have, well, I guess the same cognitive functions, but they're going to have different balance issues, okay? And so from there, communication, rapport, and trust. I find this to be really interesting, and I know it's kind of like Looney Tunes, but I feel that I have been growing and strengthening myself and being more productive and more honest and true to myself when I've started to build rapport with these different cognitive functions, personified in the way that I do. And so me seeing that this newbie introverted sensing of mine is going to struggle with some things and he needs some sort of guidance and he's kind of afraid and looks up to authority and stuff like that, then I can actually find ways to communicate with that side of myself in order to comfort it and to bring it back into the team so it doesn't just panic and freak out like in XCOM or any tactics game. So like keeping him on the team is the right choice. And to do that, you need to communicate. And I need to understand how these different archetypes are working within me. And that's the same for you and everybody else. All right. And then last, the D, defined goals. Knowing that your dominant function and your inferior function set a lot of your goals and your priorities is really important. I don't have time to get into all of it within this video, but your dominant function is pretty much the one that sets up a lot of your goals, where you're going, how you approach the situation. Like if there's a bunch of mobs and monsters out there, your dominant function is going to be the one that's like, well, we need to approach in this way if we're going to get stuff done. And there are other ways of doing it, right? But he's the shot caller or she's the shot caller. So that's going to define those goals in a way. And also, your inferior function is something that you aspire to be good at and something that you can be good at if you keep working on it. So that also kind of shapes your goals, right? And then knowing how to bring those skills together through balance, right? And through awareness and appreciation and communication is how you really wake up in the morning and you're just juiced. You're excited. You're like, I'm going to slay this day. And, I don't know how you start your morning, but waking up, meditating, drinking a lot of water and stuff like that, working on some stuff before you even touch the Facebook and all that stuff is a very important start, right? And if you don't have your goals defined, if you don't have your priorities defined, then you're going to struggle with that. All right? So this has been kind of a spread out video, but I hope that you see how they're working together. Like the external world of actual dealing with people and building a strong team, and the internal world of your cognitive functions and the archetypes and having them work together as well. And please, like when you go into a situation now, even if it's just with one other person, think about what they just came from. What happened to them today? What happened in their past? Like, that's going to shape how they talk to you and how they exist in the world today, right? And then seeing how they can balance your perspective is really important, right? And how you can help balance theirs as well. And then communicating your desires, hopefully that opens up some trust and rapport that they can communicate themselves as well. And then defining how you two, or however many people, want to move throughout this world, I think can open up a lot of doors and make sure that you're fully powered and focused on one thing. And hopefully that serves the world, right? All right, so anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful. Keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace.